Behind every space is a network of manufacturing and design decisions that determine how well the project performs. I'm joined today by Mr. Jagdish Kularia from 1330 by Narsi. Hi Jagdish. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Okay, so tell me, from a manufacturing perspective, what's that one detail architects always underestimate during design?
So basically, I would say understanding cannot be one, but it's understanding the limitation that a manufacturer would have in terms of design could be the nature of the raw material, our substrate, maybe the length of it, the width of it, the size, the texture of it. So that these things have limitation to how a manufacturer would use it and make a final product. So that is one which I feel that the architect or the designer should keep in mind while designing a product.
Yes. Okay, so tell me, what material or construction decision has the biggest impact on how long a piece lasts?
So how long a product lasts? I would say it depends on again the raw material that is being used. If you want that product to last, say about for a furniture piece to last more than 50 years, so basically it's the the adhesive that is used. So that has to be used accordingly. If it's that product is used outdoor or indoor, and accordingly you have the raw materials to be used for. So accordingly you can have your product last for 5 years, 10 years, or maybe 50 years. So, for a small example would be, our Indian teak is is rich with oil content. It has good durability. It doesn't get termite easily, so borer easily. So that is one. If you want to have your product last longer, you need to select your raw materials accordingly.
Accordingly, yes. Okay, so in most projects, where do problems usually arise? Is it the design intent or execution on site?
So there is a small, I would say, a phase in between both of these. So there is this design workshop that we generally have. So once the designer designs it and the manufacturer starts manufacturing it, you need to have a workshop where there is for example could be a transition between two materials. So how do these two materials transit? Could be there's a gap, there's a groove, or there's a profile in it. So these small things usually should be taken care during the workshop so that you're aware that how you've conceptualized your design is how it is coming out.
Is this a general practice that you keep
Yes, absolutely.
during the transition? Like,
Absolutely, it is required, and we do it. Generally, it is, yeah, on all, and it is required because be it a small product or could be a wall or could be a flooring or could be a ceiling detail. So you need to have these workshops and mock-ups to be done before execution.
that helps in the execution part of it without this.
And during this time, you also get to know if this detail could be improved to what it is right now, or it needs certain changes. Very important.
Okay, so tell me, how can architects and manufacturers collaborate better to avoid costly mistakes during construction? I think you've mentioned the mock-up.
That's mock-up, and also during this phase, you get to explore similar materials, products. Could be finishes, paints, adhesives, or textures, fabric. Or maybe stone. So you have different polishes and finishes on the stone. So you can have a workshop where you get to know that okay, there's a product that you get at X price, and you can get it at a lesser price. From India maybe, or it's imported. So you can weigh out these things during that phase.
Okay. Tell me, what are your thoughts on sustainability and how achievable do you think it is in India right now?
So it's very important, and I would say India is gearing up for gearing up towards creating product life cycle, which is very important right from when a product is being manufactured to it is shipped to the end cycle of that product, and how it is again recycled or it goes into a dump yard. So this entire life cycle could be goes about 100 years or maybe more than that. So that is where I think India will start calculating the product life cycle of each product. That gives you more knowledge about the sustainability of that product, and also likewise in manufacturing we have the way we manufacture. So, for example, how we manufacture at 1330 Narsi is that we have these machines where a lot of optimization happens. So there's less of wastage. So on one part, it is consuming less of raw material and less of wastage. And second is even for the paints, when there is a slight overspray, you recollect that, you reuse that. Also, these entire sawdust that is collected through a factory, we collect it through a centralized dust collection system. We make briquettes out of it. These briquettes are used in another industry where you need to generate heat. So, for example, when we did the new Parliament building, so the entire solid wood we processed about 110,000 cubic feet of solid wood. That's teak, Indian teak, which is a hardwood. So all of this wood sawdust was used. We made briquettes and we seasoned our own wood with that.
Oh, fantastic. That's
With
such
with
a
with
nice
the
way to optimize
Yes,
it.
so that is one, I would say, a key factor where manufacturers can utilize the the, I would say, the offcuts or raw material residue into being sustainable. And also disposing of these paints. For example, paint is one thing where now we've started using water-based paints. But even if you use solvent-based paints, so the discharge of these paints into maybe a recycling plant or to a government acknowledged place where this can be discharged is very important. You should not, I mean, one should not directly discharge it into a waste gutter or.
Right. So, rightly put, sustainability is not just about the choices, but about the entire life cycle of a product from the day it is conceived as an ideation to how it's
Disposal of
going
that.
to dispose
Right.
of or being recycled. So correctly put, not just a smaller picture, but think about the larger picture. Yes. Okay. So, quick rapid fire. Tell me one material trend that won't last.
Oh, very difficult, but which won't last.
Which won't last?
I think it is a very difficult question. I mean, there's so many trends that are coming up which won't last. Is about it comes with again durability of a product. So right now the trend is so many trends regarding so many things which I see. I see fabrics being there. So you have these martindale tests on a fabric, or you use stone. So I think the trend that India sees will always, whatever trend we see, it goes up only. There's nothing that goes down. In fact, we go back 15 years, 20 years,
I agree.
get that trend back and get it in action. It's all about influences and how people use trend and market that trend.
That is true. Okay, tell me one construction habit that manufacturing industry should change.
Should change. I would say it is optimizing oneself to future needs. We tend to plan that, okay, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years in advance, ahead of time, but we should at least be 5 years ahead of time in terms of the capacity that one holds. So that whenever you want to do something which is very unique, non-typical, so you need to have that optimization, be it in terms of machinery, you need to have the right machine, or you need to have the right people. So you need to optimize yourself, keeping in mind that, okay, after 2 years this would be required. For example, a small example that I would give is we also manufacture fire doors, wooden fire doors. So in Bharat Mandapam, where India hosted G20, so we have about 5 meter long fire doors. So generally people don't have CNC machines where you can load a door which is this long.
Yeah.
That's limitation then. So with us, we always kept ourselves very flexible with the kind of machines that we have. So we're able to machine that door, and it's a beautiful door. So that's where I feel that we should have ourselves ready for the future.
For the future. Okay, thank you so much, Jagdish, for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you at
Thank you so
Voices
much,
of
Binita.
iDAC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was
Thank
lovely
you so
meeting you. Yeah. Thoughtful interiors are often defined by smallest details, from materials to spatial experiences. Thank you for joining us at Voices of iDAC.